Hi, we're Team 129. We had job performance system, and our company was Google. I'm Ryker Caryl, and today I'll be talking about the introduction.
My name is Blake Kreuger, and I'm going to be talking about the grad system.
My name is Stephanie Harada, and I will be talking about how performance is measured.
My name is Bethaina Stubbs, and I'll be talking about OKRs.
My name is Parker Leise, and I'm going to be talking about how exactly Google gains from this grad system.
So in our agenda, we're going to be going over what is a job performance system, and then we'll go over to Google's performance system, which is the grad system. We'll get a little bit more into what the grad system is and how performance is measured. We'll talk a little bit about OKRs, which is our part of the grad system, and some of the benefits of this grad system. So, first off, what is a job performance system? A job performance system is a set of practices that help managers monitor and evaluate employees' work. It helps align employee performance with organizational goals and uses ongoing feedback and communication to set and maintain expectations for the organization. So we chose Google for our organization because specifically in 2022, they switched over from OKRs, which is objective and key results, as their job performance system, into something called the grad system, which is the Googler reviews and development. They switched over because 47% of Google employees thought that the search engine was very, very complex and time consuming in their job evaluations. It was a waste of time, they said. So after so many complaints, they switched into the grad system. And what the grad system does is that it readjusted the rating scale for the OKRs while streamlining the evaluation process. And the impact of the grad system turned twice yearly reviews into standardized metrics. They had a reduction in performance rating tiers, and they had a stronger emphasis on manager feedback, with feedback being delivered quicker in the review cycle so that employees could quickly and more efficiently change their behaviors if needed. So I just talked about what kind of the grad system entails, but Blake's going to go specifically more into what that is.
I'm going to dive into one of the most significant changes in modern performance management, which is Google's grad system, a major overhaul to how one of the world's most influential companies evaluates its talent. This system, which replaced a long-standing annual review, is a fascinating look at the future of organizational behavior. So what is a grad system? As you can see on the slide, the system officially started in May of 2022. The name itself, grad, stands for Google Reviews and Development, but it's really about shifting from a once-a-year judgment to a continuous process. This overhaul introduced three crucial changes. First, the move to continuous feedback. Let's replace the high-stakes annual meeting with regular, ongoing conversations. Managers don't wait for December to tell you how you did. They give you real-time coaching throughout the year. This ensures performance issues are addressed immediately and successes are recognized instantly. Second, it brought in consistent metrics. Google unfiled their criteria across teams to ensure that employees doing similar work are evaluating based on the same standards. This adds a layer of fairness and helps reduce bias. Third, a new rating scale and defined key inputs. This is where the grad element comes in. The new rating scale is clear, and the inputs used to determine your final grade are more formalized. These inputs include goal setting, peer reviews, and self-assessments. It's a much more holistic view of an employee's contribution than before. The goal of grad was simple: make performance management more agile and more transparent. But how is it being received by employees? As the slide notes, employees have acknowledged that the system is more transparent, which is a huge benefit for career planning. However, this transparency is also a double-edged sword. Some have also felt a greater scrutiny on their work. When feedback is continuous, it means you're having to be monitored and evaluated a lot more often. This shift can create an episodic review. The move also attempts to clearly delineate between performance, develop, and compensation. Previously, the annual review tried to do all three, which often led to difficult conversations. Grad aims to separate the conversation about your development from the discussion about your pay and promotion. In summary, the grad system represents an industry-wide trend, moving away from the traditional backward-looking annual review to a forward-looking continuous developmental model. This leads us right into our next point, uh, which explores the new metrics that Google is using. And I'll hand it over to Stephanie to talk more about this.
Thank you. So as we just talked about, the grad system is characterized by continuous feedback. So in our 1 year timeline of grad, which you can see on the slide, there's many different check-ins and checkpoints that both the management and the employees are seeing. So management will each quarter set OKRs, which are their goals for the company, and monthly check-ins will assess how the employees are doing in meeting these goals. Then our two major review checkpoints, our mid-year review and our annual review, are done, and these are made up of three different assessments. So starting off with self-assessments, employees have the opportunity to reflect on their work personally and describe how they believe they were contributing to the team and the company goals. This also prepares them for the various discussions with management. Next, the 360 reviews gives their teammates the opportunity to talk about how they felt their contributions were, which gives a unique perspective from the managers because they're the ones working with that employee on a daily basis. This part is particularly helpful in evaluating soft skills such as collaboration, leadership, and communication, as well as how others viewed their contributions to the projects or the OKRs. And finally, the management review brings all of this together as managers are comparing the employees' performance data with their goal completion percentages and overall impact and quantifying this to place them into the different tier systems. So this ensures that performance is viewed holistically, both by the self, by peers, and management. So once this continuous feedback is collected, the quantitative results, so working toward our measurable goals with our OKRs, is directly impacting the employees' bonuses, raises, and promotion eligibility. But because they've been having all of this feedback given to them throughout the entire process, the qualitative reviews of like their individual feedback is helping them identify and reflect upon their own growth and helps them work towards improvements in the next cycle. So we talked a lot about OKRs, and now Bethaina is going to talk a little bit more about exactly what they are.
Thank you, Stephanie. So, OKRs, objectives and key results, is just a fancy name for a goal-setting game plan. So, who started this? John Doerr implemented OKRs back in 1999, which helped Google become the big company that it is today. So, we may ask, what are OKRs? OKRs, objectives and key results, are a goal-setting framework that helps organizations and individuals define, measure, and track their objectives project towards achieving them. So the objectives is what you want to achieve. It should be something exciting, big, and important. The key results are how you will measure if you've reached your goal. It uses numbers and facts. So why do we use OKRs? We use OKRs to maintain alignment and visibility on company level objectives so everyone can prioritize efforts and focuses on what really matters. So OKRs make sure that everyone is aligned and knows the big goal, and they all focus on the most important task instead of wasting time. It keeps people focused and it makes sure everyone is working on what really matters to the company. Now, Parker will talk more about the grad system and its benefits to Google.
Thank you, Bethaina. So there are three main benefits that Google gains from using the grad system: higher overall performance quality, improved goal alignment, and faster problem solving and adaptability. First, grad helps Google achieve higher overall performance quality. Unlike traditional performance reviews, that only happens once or twice a year. Grad emphasizes continuous feedback. Employees meet with their managers every month to talk about progress, challenges, and development goals. From a corporate standpoint, this consistency helps Google identify performance issues early on and make adjustments before small problems turn into bigger ones. It also ensures employees stay accountable and aligned with their teams. Because grad includes feedback from peers and direct reports, managers get a full picture of how someone performs within the team, not just what they achieve individually. That gives Google better insights for talent management and team building decisions. Over time, this creates a culture of constant improvement across the company, one where every employee is focused on getting better. For Google, this translates into higher productivity, stronger collaboration, and better long-term performance across all departments. The second benefit is improved goal alignment. Through the use of OKRs, which stand for objective and key results, Grad directly links each employee goals to Google's overall mission and strategic priorities. This means every project and every task is tied to something bigger, like advancing AI technology, improving user experience, or driving sustainable growth. Regular OKR reviews help employees see exactly how their work contributes to Google's larger goals. For Google as a company, that alignment is incredibly valuable. It minimizes wasted effort on projects that don't support the core mission, ensures resources are being used efficiently, and keeps teams around the world focused on shared objectives. With thousands of employees across dozens of countries, Grad helps Google maintain one unified direction, which is key for a company of its size. Finally, Grad improves Google's problem solving and adaptability. In the tech industry, things change fast. New competitors, new regulations, and constant innovation. Grad's frequent check-ins make it easier for Google to detect and respond to challenges early on. If a project is falling behind or a team is facing obstacles, managers can address it right away instead of waiting for a mid-year review. That flexibility allows Google to pivot quickly when priorities shift or market conditions change. From a corporate perspective, this agility keeps Google competitive. Managers can spot trends, reallocate resources, or adjust strategy in real time. It's a system that helps Google stay one step ahead, not just reacting to change, but anticipating it. In conclusion, the grad system benefits Google by driving higher performance quality, aligning employees' goals with the company's mission, and keeping the organization agile in a consistently changing market. It's more than just a review process. It's a strategic framework that strengthens Google's overall performance and long-term success. And on this last slide, we have all of our information where we outline where all of our information has come from.